I bet you thought it was over. I bet you thought I was done. Welcome back. I knew you would return eventually. Please look down at your feet. Looks like we have another countdown. This number you see represents the number of power stars you need to access another world. Whether you succeed or fail, just attempting the challenge will show something about your character. Yes, hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Galaxy. As you know, we have finished the main story of the game. Looks like Male Toad here has a little bit of a letter from Princess Peach gifting us 5 1-up mushrooms, of course, like she does during the course of the adventure. But yes, so it is now time to take on the Comet Star. So this is an optional part of the game where you are essentially given the option to complete additional Power Star missions. However, even though it is not required, if you are going for 100% completion, this is definitely, of course, necessary because it gives you that grand total of 120 Power Stars. And of course, we are at 90 since we last left off in our final mission facing off with Bowser, giving us the final Grand Star. That means the counter right here is letting us know we need another 30 Power Stars to 100% the game. If you talk to the Black Luma right here next to Rosalina, you'll be given a map essentially showing you where all the different comets are located. As you can see, there are not really a lot of comets in most of the galaxies and the domes, except for this one, the Terrace. So it is now time to revisit the Terrace Dome. So heading back into the Terrace, we'll go ahead and pull ourselves up here. And as you can see, there is a purple comet in orbit located at Good Egg Galaxy. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into Good Egg and get this comet hunt started. Purple comet is in orbit. So it is time to jump into Purple Coin Omelette. Ah, familiar ground. I know we haven't really seen this galaxy since the very beginning of the game. But as you can see, there is a little bit of a purple overcast. That essentially represents the type of comet mission that you are doing in the galaxy. So with this one, and this is similar to when we returned back at the gate, where we were given the flying Mario ability, we were tasked with collecting 100 purple coins, and every purple comet in the game are going to be requiring you to do the exact same thing. So yeah, so every single purple comet star you receive, you will get for, of course, collecting the total of 100 purple coins. So this first one, we are doing, of course, in Good Egg Galaxy, so we've been here before, so we know our way around, but this time we were focusing on collecting these purple coins. So let's get things started here, and of course we now landed on the Yoshi Egg planet, which is one of my favorite looking planets in the game. Very nice to see that again. But we are going to go ahead and collect the rest of the purple coins. As you can see, we already have almost half of the coins. The first few purple coin missions in like the early galaxies are probably some of the easiest, but there are definitely some that I can think of right now that I am probably not going to have a lot of fun with because they get a lot more challenging, especially when you get back to the later galaxies of the game that, of course, we took on earlier in the main story of the game. I just wanted to mainly save these comets for the end, just for organizational purposes. I could have actually completed the comets during the course of the adventure a lot earlier on in the Let's Play, but I chose not to just because I actually typically play the game like this regularly, so it's just kind of something that I'm in the habit of doing, but also for organizational purposes, I just felt like it made more sense to go ahead and get the main story done and out of the way and collect all of those main power stars first, and then take on all the additional comets, because I feel like the comet stars, even though they bring a lot more, you know, they definitely add a lot more to the game that essentially encourages the player to continue on even after the main face-off with Bowser and, you know, of course, rescuing Princess Peach. I just feel that, you know, since we're pretty much revisiting all the same galaxies we've already done, even taking on pretty much the exact same missions that we took on, and a lot of the boss fights will reoccur as well with some of the comets we'll get to later on. It just kind of feels repetitive. So I wanted to kind of take a little bit of time between the end of the game and doing these comet stars. That way it didn't seem like I was doing the same type of missions over and over again during the, you know, the normal course of the Let's Play. But as you can see, we now are just 10 coins away from getting our first comet power star. Let's go ahead and see if we can find the rest of these 10 coins. And I think I need to go to a different planet. I don't think they're on this one. I'll go ahead and take this Sling Star. Get a coin there to replenish some health. But I have to say, it is very nice to get back to playing this game again. I actually recorded this, actually started this recording of the Comets much later than when I finished the recording of the main Power Stars and the main story. It looks like the rest of our coins are going to be right here. Very nice. And there it is, the very first Power Star given to us from one of the Comet missions. Go ahead and collect that now. And that is one done. Turn back to the dome. And that'll bring our total to 91. So we have one more star on the board, and of course we have a lot more left to do still. Yeah, we'll go ahead and save, might as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull ourselves back up, and we'll take a look and see if there's any additional Comets left to get. And it looks like there's actually no more available to us right now. So exiting the terrace, if you talk to the prankster Luma, he is going to talk to you about the prankster comets. Tell me more. The prankster comet is troublesome, always changing the way galaxies work. Speedy comets limit the amount of time you can spend there. Daredevil comets leave you with low life. Cosmic comets make you race a mirror of yourself, and Phasmo comets, purple comets make you, of course, collect 100 purple coins. Yeah, the Phasmo comets essentially make it to where all of your enemies are moving a lot faster in the galaxies, making it a little bit more challenging. So if we go ahead and tell him to move the comets, if we go ahead and feed him 20 star bits, he will move the location of the comets, spreading them around, making some more available that weren't available before. So let's go ahead and get this snack diddly do thing a-rolling. And as you can see, we now have another comet available in the terrace for us. So yeah, so that is a way of essentially making the comets appear if they don't appear the first time you check for them. So going back into the terrace, we are now going to revisit Good Day Galaxy one last time to finish off the final comet star here, completing the galaxy. Speedy Comet is in orbit. We're going to kick things off with Dino Piranha's Speed Run. Yes, so this is the first boss speed run. So we're gonna have a couple more of these, and there's of course there's gonna be some other ones referred to as the Daredevil comets, which the prankster Comet Luma just pretty much explained to us. But yeah, so essentially this time around, instead of just going through the normal galaxy and getting to the boss and finishing things off that way, we are now timed. So this time adds a little bit more of a challenge to it. As you can see, there's now an orange or overcast representing that we are now in a speedy comet mission. Go and talk to this Luma here, because he's going to give us that Sling Star to get us up to the launch star. And we're going to land back here where the Chain Chomps are. So yeah, again, like I said, these missions and these boss fights are exactly the same as they were before, except you just have a little bit of an extra challenge. And I'm going to try not to die before I actually get to the boss. But yeah, you essentially just have a little bit of an extra challenge where you're either timed. The Daredevil missions are actually essentially where you are only given one hit point. So that's essentially the main gimmick of that type of Comet Star. But this one is the speed run and the Speedster Comet. So we are essentially just trying to beat the clock on this one. So, but yeah, like I said, these missions are exactly the same as they were. They're laid out literally the exact same as they were the first time you visited these galaxies, except again just a little extra challenge added on. So you just have to really focus on being fast and try not to get hit as much as you did in the past if that was a problem before. Really anything that can delay you or slow you down from getting to the boss, especially if you have a mission. This one's not entirely complicated or really that long to get to the boss and fight him. It's really a matter of it just kind of really depends on which galaxy you're on, because some can be pretty long. So if you're on a speedster comet and it's like a longer path to get to the boss, then of course you want to obviously be very cautious of your time. So you definitely want to go as fast as possible. I would even just avoid most of the enemies if possible. Like I'm trying to do that right now. I've just been getting hit a little bit too many times, or it's kind of too many times, or too many more times than I need, or wanted to, whatever. But now we are going to go ahead and land on Dino Piranha once again, because we are going to have a little bit of a rematch, but this time on a timer. As you see, we still have 2 minutes left, so this fight again is the exact same as it was before. Very simple, straightforward. Just want to go ahead and spin into the guy's tail to get it to crack his egg open and then eventually crack his head open, because what better way of getting one of the Comet stars than abusing this poor Dino Piranha guy? He was literally sleeping. We had no business interrupting his sleep, let alone, you know, causing his tail to give him a concussion. But that's Mario. That's how he is. So I guess we can't really argue with it. But as you can see, we already took him down. That was actually quicker than I did the first time, I believe. And he will give us another power star. Very nice. So that is all there is to that one. It is time to move right along. As you can see, Good Day Galaxy is now fully completed, and that's what it looks like when you have all the Power Star missions done. Looking back at the map, we have several more comets in orbit, so we're going to actually take on another purple coin mission. It is now time to revisit the fountain, where we will take on Space Junk Galaxy's purple coin comet star. Ah, here we go, back in the fountain. This was one of the more peaceful domes. So jumping back into Thames, we are going to revisit Space Junk this time to take on the purple comet that is currently in orbit. Let's do this. And this time we are taking on the purple coin spacewalk. As you can see, we are now going to be essentially getting back to that area where the platforms appear right in front of you. And I think this is actually one of the galaxies where they spawn you at a location where you don't normally start in the galaxy. So they kind of give you a little bit of a head start here. And a little bit of a help to get you right to the galaxy. So this one we are timed. Some of the purple coin stars will be timed, some will not. This is one of the easier timed purple coin missions, so I'm not really too worried about this one. And if you can actually look out to the distance, you can actually see where all the purple coins are, and that essentially indicates where the platforms are going to appear once you get close enough to them. So if you have some well-timed long, or if you go ahead and utilize some well-timed long jumps, you can actually make it to the platforms where the purple coins are a lot quicker, since you can literally see where they're going to be. As you can see, we already have 70. That's over half of our coin count. So it looks like we just need like 3 more groups of purple coins to go ahead and find. So we need to find now 2 more platforms. So we're almost done already. See how fast this can go if you're just vigilant, pay attention. And we have, oh, there they are out in the distance. We have 2 more platforms out there. But yeah, that's really all there is to this one. Again, they only gave you 2 minutes, but I still think that's plenty of time, and I almost fell to my death there. But yeah, you essentially just want to make sure you don't fall, and you want to make sure that wherever you're jumping, you can find some platforms. So, but it's pretty easy to see where they are, since again, they literally give you the little ring of purple coins in this one. So we'll go ahead and finish this one off, and that'll do it for that. And of course, we still have about 40 seconds on the clock, but we still have to get back to the starting area to collect our power star. So that's always lovely. I know they always try to make you, wow, that was close. They always make you work for it a little bit. This one's easy. I'm not really complaining, but it's always funny to kind of get back to the starting area, because I think I've actually died getting back to the starting area just because I was in such a rush at certain times. But power star is in reach, and it is ours. All right, so now we're going to look at the map again, and it looks like we actually have another comet in orbit back at the terrace. So jumping back into Honey Hive Galaxy, it looks like we have our first cosmic comet in orbit. So let's go ahead and dive right in. And this time, we are doing Honey Hive's Cosmic Mario Race. So this is essentially the main gimmick of the Cosmic Comets. We are going to be essentially racing our Cosmic clone. So basically what you want to focus on is just getting from point A to point B, focusing on where the power star is, and here he is, Cosmic Mario. One of my favorite characters in the Mario universe. I love this guy. He says nothing at all. He does a little creepy laugh, but he's awesome regardless. So this guy will essentially be able to do every single jump and ability that you as Mario can do. So he will move just as fast. He doesn't really long jump as much as you think he would to gain a lot more traction. So if you want to just continuously long jump to kind of give yourself a little bit more mobility, that is something I would recommend. This is one of the easier courses and races to do. Of course, it's I think it's like the very first one you're essentially given to do. Of course, Honey High being one of the first galaxies that we took on. But we just want to avoid this little honey because that can slow us down a little bit. And as you can see, we've already reached the power star. This is the finish line right here. Cosmic Mario did not stand a chance. What a loser. Go ahead and look at the map again, and it looks like we have a bunch more comets to take on. So we're going to actually go back to the fountain and take on Battle Rock Galaxy. Revisiting Battle Rock Galaxy, we're going to go ahead and fly to this galaxy to take on the comet that is currently in orbit. And it looks like we have our first Daredevil comet in orbit, so that's nice. Be able to show this off. And it is Top Maniac's Daredevil run. Yes, so the one, the only Top Maniac is making another return, and this time it is the exact same fight, but we are only given one hit. So we have to make good use of our one life that we have, so do not jump on the spike on the spiky top min because that will kill you, and of course the electrical balls will as well. We want to carefully make our way at the top of this structure again, where we face off with one of our familiar rivals, Top Maniac. This guy is pretty easy, even just as much as he was the first time we fought him. Of course, the one thing you just want to avoid are his spikes, because of course if you get hit by any of them, even once, you're done. You have to restart. Luckily, we start right at the location where he is located. But we just want to be very vigilant. He only takes, again, 3 hits to take down. So once again, not a hard boss to take on in this first Daredevil run. Take our Power Star. And that's actually going to do it for this episode, this first bonus episode. Next time on Super Mario Galaxy, we are going to take on more of the additional Comet Stars. Until then, I will see you later.